Ashe and grand rising once again to you all, my very beautiful people. Yes, my highly enriched melanin people. You, the Earth's original and organic humans, aka my fellow Africans. It is I, the Mystic Philosopher, and welcome back to the Mystic Peace, talking again on the 15 minutes with I, the Mystic Philosopher, episode 64. Please bear with me if this go over a few minutes or a few seconds, because I didn't get a chance to edit it. But anyhow, because I'm rushing to do it, and today's Friday, blah, 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 blah. The main topic of this series of talks, as you already know, is stress on the mind, or more correctly, the impact that this thing called stress has on the thing that we humans called mind. And that from I, the Mystic Philosopher's perspective, the solution to this problem, or to this disease called stress, can or it may be found in and by understanding, understanding and overstanding the want equation. Namely, want is equal to money, which is equal to stress, which is equal to unhappiness. And also by putting into practice the knowledge that can be gained from this profound equation. And the quote that I'm using and I've been using to illustrate all my points thus far is from the Adamic Race History and Holy Book, in accordance to the 23rd Psalm. And I quote the first verse: "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Now, in some of the other previous episodes, I asked that you, my listeners, please meditate on the want equation for yourself. Again, want is equal to money, which is equal to stress, which is equal to unhappiness. And when you meditate on it, see what you can derive from it, see what you can learn from it for yourself. In other words, evaluate it, tear it apart for yourself, and see if it makes any sense to you personally. All information that I'm sharing with you, all the thoughts that I'm sharing with you, the insight is summed up in the want equation. And you will discover much more in it, more than I can share with you right now, because it can become personal for you. Anyway, now in today's episode 60, this is what, 64? I hope, yeah, 64. I will continue by answering the last part of my question from one of my listeners. Can want cause, and his question was, can want cause hypertension? And if the answer is yes, please explain how. Meaning, how does want cause hypertension, aka hypertension, high blood pressure? As is straight up expressed in the want equation, and also as I've mentioned and explained in all of my previous talks, and especially in my last episode 63, that want is equal to stress. And that stress means to put pressure or to exert pressure, aka to exert tension on something or on someone. The something here or the someone here that is being stressed or that will be stressed is the person that wants and is found wanting. It is the one that breaks the command and the commandment that states you shall not want, and nor should you be found wanting. That's the person that is stressed. I also explained that to want is to function from the paradigm of lack, which is also the paradigm of doubt, ignorance, and fear, etc. Or if you prefer, when we want, it means that we are functioning from the paradigm of lack, which is also the paradigm of doubt, the paradigm of ignorance, the paradigm of fear, and so forth. Remember that I also told you that want equals stress is a seed that is, or that when sown or when planted, it germinates, it grows, it blossoms, and it reproduces itself a minimum of 10 folds or 10 times over. And I also told you that want is a destructive spiritual and metaphysical force that creates ideas and thoughts and doubts, anxieties, mistrust, greed, covetousness, and fear, you name it. And that these ideas of doubt, anxiety, mistrust, greed, covetousness, envy, jealousy, and fear, etc., just keep multiplying and reproducing and more of its kind, and thus causes the heart to pump more and more blood to our brains and to other organs in our bodies, aka hypertension or high blood pressure. The fact is that we really don't need a system trained or a certified medical doctor or any other system trained health or professional to tell us that ideas and thoughts of doubt, anxiety, mistrust, greed, covetousness, envy, jealousy, and fears, you name them, cause our heart rate to increase. We don't need no specialist to tell us that. And that the more it increases, is the more likely it is to chip out, to break down. The more likely it is for one of our blood vessels to erupt, to break. Common sense alone, if activated, should tell us that anxiety does cause a temporary spike in blood pressure, and sometimes that is all it takes for a weak and a sick heart to even, and sometimes even a healthy heart to suddenly stop pumping, stop working. It is like putting a bit too much air in a tire and cause it to explode or cause the tire to burst, as we say in Jamaica, to burst. And that is why even in the Adamic race history and holy book, you'll find where words of exhortation is written and that a strict command is given that the people of the Adamic race and races, should not be anxious about anything or anxious over anything. In other words, do not want anything. That's what it means. Don't be anxious and don't want anything. Quote, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, I'm just quoting now from the book, please understand this. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation be, and by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. That's the Adamic people. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Unquote. Philippians 4:6-7, the New International Version. Just using it to illustrate a point. And that is what I, the Mystic Philosopher, is also telling you, my beloved melanin people, you the Earth's original and organic humans, aka my fellow African people, that you should not be anxious and that you must not be anxious about anything, meaning you should not want and that you must not want anything. And I know that no doubt some of you, if not all of you, are so wrapped up and tied up and tangled up in want, and are so consumed in want that you did not even hear what I've just said to you. And some of you just can't even believe that I just said it, or what you just heard. You can't believe what you just hear me say. Let alone know and understand what I have just said to you. So please let me repeat it for emphasis. Like the apostle, the apostle called Paul, in his letter of admonition, or his epistle of admonition to his Philippian brethren, I, the Mystic Philosopher, is also hereby telling you, my beloved melanin people, you the Earth's original and organic humans, aka my fellow Africans, that you should not be anxious and that you must not be anxious about anything or anyone for that matter. Meaning you should not want and that you must not want anything in as much as it is humanly possible. I'm saying to you, get rid of or get want out of your vocabulary and possible out of your mind. No, that's a chore. That's a chore. That's your job to figure that out. So if you are suffering, if any of you are suffering from hypertension, aka high blood pressure, and all other related illnesses for that matter, just ask yourself what you want and what are you wanting. Just ask yourself, what do I want? What am I wanting? And simply stop wanting it or stop wanting them and notice the result and the immediate relief. In fact, any sickness, illness, or problem, and particularly that which is commonly called or referred to as mental illness, such as depression, mental disorder, and anxiety disorder, etc., that you have or that you are experiencing right at this moment, right now, if you would like to get rid of them, or if you would like to know or find out what your problems are that is stopping you or hindering you from living an enchanted life, here, a life of happiness, here is what I, the Mystic Philosopher, suggests. Just get a sheet of paper and a pen or a pencil. In fact, some of you, your problems are so numerous that one sheet of paper or one pen or one pencil won't work. So just go to the dollar store and buy yourself a book and a few pencils or pen. Then go back home and find a quiet spot and write down all the things that you want. Write down all your wants and then just stop wanting them. It is not that difficult. As a happiness coach, the Mystic Philosopher, as a happiness coach, that is what I tell my clients and have them do. And it works for over 95% of the time. For over 95% of them, for all those who does it, it work. Or do it work. The other 5% that it did not work for are like the rich young ruler who, according to the said Adamic race history and holy book, went to Jesus. Or Jesus is alleged to have told to go sell all that he has and give to the poor. The rich man so tied to his material possession and he wanted more, and he still wanted something. He went away grieving. So too does the rest of 5% of my clients. They went away sad and grieving. Yeah, some even crazy if you tell them that. He was holding on to what he has wanted and wanted more. He was holding on to what he had and he wanted more. And he just couldn't let go. Let me quote what it alleged Jesus told him. The character called Jesus told him. And I quote, Jesus told him, if you want to be perfect, listen again, if you want to be perfect, right? Go and sell all your possessions and give the money to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come follow me. When the young man heard this, he went away sad because he had great wealth. Unquote. Man, I would like to expound on this, but the time would not permit me. This is found in, according to the Adamic race history and holy book, Matthew 19:21, verse 23, and I just read from the New International Version. And here again, for those of you that can discern, here lies the rich man's problem. He want. And what did he want? He wanted to be perfect. And the commandments state that he shall not want and he should not want. Here are just a few. Let me give you just a few examples of what you should stop wanting. Stop wanting, number one, stop wanting to be successful. Stop wanting to be competitive. Stop wanting to be right. Stop wanting everybody to agree with you. Stop wanting to be, did I say perfect? Yeah, stop wanting to be perfect. Stop wanting to be a perfect man or a perfect woman. Stop wanting to be a perfect wife or a perfect husband. Stop wanting to be a perfect, stop wanting to have perfect children and to raise perfect children. Stop wanting to please anyone and everyone. Stop wanting to please God. Stop wanting to be holy. Stop wanting revenge. Stop wanting material wealth and possessions. Stop wanting abundance. Stop wanting to be rich. Stop wanting to own things. Stop wanting to pay off your house. Stop wanting to own the house. Stop. For the evidence to show you can't own it in the first place. And I can explain that to you another time. But the evidence shows that too is impossible. Stop wanting to be mortgage free. Stop wanting to be debt free. Stop wanting to be financially free. Stop wanting to be famous. Stop wanting to be known. Stop wanting to be the best. Stop wanting to be seen and heard. Stop wanting to be a leader or the leader. Stop wanting to be the first. Stop wanting to be liked. Stop wanting to be loved. Stop wanting to be the best at anything and everything. Stop wanting to get ahead of everyone and anyone. Stop wanting the house. Stop wanting the new house. Stop wanting the big house. Stop wanting the bigger house. Stop wanting the car or a car. Stop wanting a new car or a newer car. Stop wanting a bigger car. Stop wanting, just stop wanting a luxury car. You name it. Stop wanting. You name it or you name them. The Mystic Philosopher is here by telling you that you all should stop wanting them. And it is, if at all you are to fulfill your purpose, which is to live an enchanted life, a life of happiness, a life that is filled with pleasure, then you must stop wanting and you must not be found wanting. On the contrary, misery and sadness will be your lifelong friends and companions. Because the evidence shows and will no doubt continue to show that want equals stress cannot exist in the same space and at the same time with any or all of the aforementioned wants and wanting. Oh, I'm there. In fact, the other example that I would like to talk about next time is what Jesus, aka Yeshua, is alleged to have said, and I quote, "Then he said to them, watch out, be on guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in the abundance of possession." Luke 12 and verse 15. But I don't have time to do that. So if this is correct, then you, my listeners, my people, must logically and sensibly conclude that all these preachers that you hear on radios and see them on TV and elsewhere that are preaching on the accumulation of material wealth and possession in their so-called abundance ministry, their so-called prosperity gospel, etc., you name it, are either ignorant. Give them the benefit of the doubt there first. They are either ignorant, they don't know, or what they are doing, they don't know what they are doing, or they are deceivers, they are cons, charlatans, and frauds, to say the very least, that are knowingly defrauding, tricking and defrauding their followers and congregants out of most of what some of them don't even have. Some of the congregants don't even have. So thus far today, I know I run over time, thus far today in this episode, I honestly think that I have given you, or at the very least, I honestly think that I may have given some of you, if not all of you, a lot more to think about and possibly a lot more to look forward to in my next episode, especially as it relates to same thing here: stress, the seed called want, and the want equation, etc. And so in the interest of time, I think I just have to pause here for today and ask that you please join me for when next I'm talking again, possibly in episode number 65. Where and when I will be talking and sharing with you more of my perspective and insight and the magical, mystical, and metaphysical aspect of the word want, and the want and the command and the commandment, you shall not want, and hopefully continue answering the question and giving more examples of how to, get rid of want and how to not want. So, for I shall not want, you shall not want, we shall not want, and nor should we be found wanting. Well, in the meantime and between time, let me remind you, my beloved people, that yesterday is history, it too is dead and gone. No more to come back. Tomorrow is a mystery, it too may never come, but today is a gift, which is why we call it the present day. And I hereby implore you to live for today. By live, I mean claim your natural birthright. And just in case you do not know, or you may have forgotten what it is your happiness, and fulfill your joy today. And let's hope for tomorrow, because tomorrow may never come for you and for I, the Mystic Philosopher. So thanks for your time, and thanks for listening, and thanks for your patience. I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say.